now. Right. So,
I will take care of SAA. Sir, I will take care of SAA.
All right. Over to you, DTM GK Ajay.
Okay. Thank you, Talha sir. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Toastmaster Ajay, and I will be the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the 48th meeting of the Quantum Leap Advanced Toastmasters Club. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention 5 ground rules we follow in our Toastmasters meeting. Number 1, please turn off your mobile phones or put them in silent mode. Number 2, as Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion, and politics. So please refrain from discussing these topics. Number 3, please do not cross-talk. Number 4, please put yourself on mute if you are not speaking. Number 5, please turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. As everyone in their life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, our Toastmasters Club also has a mission. The mission of our Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I announce this meeting as open and hand over the control to our club president, Saad Shoaib, DTM. Over to you, Saad.
Saad will not be able to join. So I will be officiating as club president, as the VP Education. So welcome once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's meeting. We have a couple of guests, in fact, and let's take their introduction, although both are very familiar to us. But the protocol dictates that we take introductions from guests. So DTM Irfan Farooqi. Sir, we don't know you at all. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. I'm Irfan Farooqi. I'm from Lahore, Pakistan, and I'm a member of various clubs. But this club is one of my favorite clubs. So I was asleep. I just woke up, and that's why I am not able to switch on my camera, because my face is not in a position to show you right now. But I want to participate in the meeting. Thank you. Back to you, Talha.
Thank you so much, DTM Irfan. Thank you so much for joining this meeting. And we always treasure your presence in every meeting. By now, I bet you don't even remember how many clubs you are a member of. So, but you are close to the hearts of all the clubs in Pakistan. We all consider you as our honorary member. Toastmaster Shaikh Rutwal, please introduce yourself.
Good morning. How are you, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests? It has always been a pleasure to join your club meeting. I try every week just to be present here. So I hope today I will also try my level best to remain here. Have a very good meeting and good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, since we have started the meeting, it is time for me to hand over the charge to our Toastmaster of the day. But before that, a bit of business. DTM Ajay, as secretary, do we have any announcement? And would you like to recap the results of the past meeting?
Yes, sir. Just a minute, please.
You can find them in the WhatsApp.
Yeah. I'm just looking into that. So here is our last meeting, how it went. So the special appreciation is for Toastmaster Sky Nelson Isaac, and the best speaker and plus best big three might be the Toastmaster of the day goes to DTM Talha. Best round robin evaluator goes to TM Nazam Rijvi, and best evaluator goes to TM Kuram Sayed, and best table topics speaker goes to Toastmaster Usman Ali. And this is how the last meeting went, and these are the just snippets of the last meeting. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, DTM GK Ajay. I will take advantage of this opportunity to remind everyone about the renewals. We need to get to good standing in order to be able to hold contests. And if you recall, last year we also had contests, and DTM Mirror from Quantum League made it all the way to the district finals. So let's repeat that performance this year as well. And now, speaking of district finals, we have a district champion among us. He has been our charter member, our founding VP membership, a very active and valuable contributor to all the club meetings. And whenever he is on stage, we never fail to be inspired. So everyone, please put your hands together for our Toastmaster of the day, who is also our treasurer, our charter member, and the district public speaking champion of 2022, Toastmaster Kuram Sayed. Over to you, Toastmaster Kuram.
Thank you, Standing President, our VP Education, DTM Talab bin Hamid. Fellow Toastmasters, what a relevant topic today. Distress. If I go back and think, first time when I was introduced to that, I think it was grade 4 when I was sitting in my science class, and the teacher explains us that when you put a force on a thing, it's a stress. And the first thing I correlate a day before when I break a glass and my mother put a force of her sandal on me. But this could be very relevant to our present adult lives. Stress in the life is extremely important from the point of view that we need to avoid it, because stress can not only affect your immunity, your muscle stressness, your even the digestive system. And now you will be thinking, what the hell this guy is talking about? We're talking about stress, a mental condition, but really it impacts your whole body. And if we go to the topic of the day, which is distress, it's a state in which you are in a state of anxiety or pain or some stressful situation we named as distress. And if you look into it, it all started with one of the brain area, and allow me to take this name. It is hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis. It all started there. And then it connects with different parts of the brain, which I will try to cover during this meeting today. So with this pause, let me also introduce our role players of the day. And I will start with our language evaluator, Toastmaster Zara Ibrahim. Toastmaster Zara Ibrahim, would you please come up on stage and share your role and the word of the day? Toastmaster Zara, you are on mute if you are listening to me. Till she's coming on, can we have the timer of the day, DTM Talab bin Hamid?
Yes, sure. So as timer, I will be showing the timings for all the segments and speeches. Our keynote today, provided they join. Otherwise, we'll start with the speeches and wait for them to join. Our keynote is 15 to 20 minutes. After that, there will be a 5-minute question and answer session. Our speeches today are 5 to 7 minutes long. And for the timing, what I'll be doing is I'll be displaying this background and you'll see the colors turn. So for example, for speeches, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, you'll see, for the first 5 minutes, you'll see nothing. Then at the 5th minute, you'll see green. At 6 minutes, yellow, and at 7 minutes, red. Similarly, for table topics, it is 1, 1.5, 2. For evaluation, there's 2, 2.5, and 3. For round robin evaluation, it is just 1 minute, and you won't see the 3 colors. You'll just see the red color once the 1 minute for round robin evaluator is over. So over to you, Toastmaster Khurram Singh.
Thank you, timer of the day. Our language evaluator is here with us, Toastmaster Zahra. Will you please introduce your role and the word of the day?
Yes, all right. Thank you very much. Actually, my laptop got stuck in the beginning. Yeah. So today the word of the day is ikigai, and ikigai means a reason for being. Is a Japanese concept referring to something that gives a person a sense of purpose, a reason for living. So if I talk about how we can use it in sentence, so it can be above all, he has to find his purpose, his reason for getting out of bed, his ikigai. So I would like you people to use the word of the day as much you can. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, language evaluator. So with one way or another, Toastmaster has become our ikigai. And we find a purpose of our lives, not just to develop our public speaking skills, but to be not only to be the leaders, but to be connected, to be a better version of our own self. And with this thought, since our keynote speaker is not yet in the room, I will start the second session, our education session of prepared speeches. And I would like to call upon DTM Saif Ali Sheikh as a lead evaluator to introduce the project of Toastmaster Wasay Ahmed.
Thank you very much, Mr. TMOD. And Toastmaster Wasay Ahmed is attempting a project from engaging in humor. And the purpose of his project is prepare for an interview. And visuals will be taking care of DTM G.K. Ajay. Auditory part, Toastmaster Zahra Ibrahim. Perceptible is myself again. Structural part will take care of DTM Talha. Over to TMOD.
Thank you, Mr. Lead Evaluator. Toastmaster Wasay Ahmed is member of Karachi Toastmaster. He is the Pathway Ambassador and the Treasurer. We are happy to have him in Quantum Leap. Toastmaster Wasay Ahmed, would you please unmute yourself and be available on, yes?
All right. So as part of this project, I've been designated as the interviewer for Toastmaster Wasay. I'll be asking the questions and Toastmaster Wasay will be answering. The project duration is 5 to 7 minutes. So, all right. Everyone, please put your hands together for our Pathway the Treasurer, Toastmaster Wasay. And today we'll be interviewing him about this auspicious occasion and the complicated responsibilities that come with it. So Toastmaster Wasay, Pathways Ambassador. My first question to you is, how do you make people care about pathways?
Thank you, DTM Tala. Pathway. Pathway is the most important part of our Toastmasters journey. When we are talking to a person who has newly joined Toastmasters, we give them an orientation, a brief overview, how they will be, how they have started, and what will they be achieving at the end of their pathway. We tell them that they start from the very basics, from an icebreaker to writing a speech with a purpose, then vocal variety, body language, and then value and feedback, and going till the very end for a keynote speech, like speaking professionally. So, in order to persuade them, we tell them how will they develop as a speaker if they keep following the pathway with dedication, meticulously, whatever you can say. That's
All right. So we all know you to be a very active speaker, and currently you are doing projects in 2 clubs. And that is one way to accelerate your pathway's progress. How do you motivate members who are there to play roles and who are there for the camaraderie in the meetings, but they can't quite gather the courage or the will to deliver projects? How do you convince them?
that is something I wouldn't say the easiest for me, but something that has been relatable to me. So then I can explain them very well this, because knowing me, I would say joining almost an year of Toastmasters, I only did the 2 levels of my pathways. For example, in just 12 months of my joining of Toastmasters journey, I had only given 7 projects or 6 projects that I have delivered. But one thing that I learned was that I was improving, I was learning, but that improvement was not concrete. When I was not showing up regularly, every single time that I have to show up for a speech, I had to collect my courage, and showing up was very difficult. But when I started speaking regularly, I realized that it didn't take much effort for me to show up. As we all know that there is a curve. When we start something, it becomes very, very difficult. But we reach a single point when things start to become easier, a bit smooth. So that is the way. So I tell these people that when you start to at least show up regularly, then you gain courage to speak up. And when you listen to even to these speeches others, again, when you listen to other speeches, it's subconsciously in ourselves that we compare ourselves to people. I am not saying that comparing to others is a good thing, but when we subconsciously compare to each other, we realize that not every speech is going to be perfect. We might end up forgetting things. We might end up screwing up our presentations, and we might have making many other flaws. But still, doing something is better than doing nothing. So that's what I tell them.
All right. So yes, I think that is very relevant that you've been there once and you know how it feels. And that is how you can relate to your duties and to your target audience. Now, we've seen that many Toastmasters, in fact, most Toastmasters are well motivated through the first level. But then they kind of taper off after level 2, 3, 4, 5. And very few complete pathway, and even fewer complete the second pathway. What have you thought about continuing to motivate these kind of Toastmasters? Because as the projects get difficult, the threshold gets higher.
There are 2 ways of looking at it. The first way can be that eventually when you start doing something, our motivation is really high. Let's say, for example, we are going to gym every day. We are starting to for a jog or running every day, let's say for exercise. It happens for us like for first 2-3 days, we are working really hard, but then complacency starts to kick in, and then it eventually gets down, our morale gets down. Similarly gets with the Toastmasters, because you are right that projects also get difficult, but one thing is that adrenaline push is not there, which was in the starting. So one way to cater it is the club environment. If the club keeps appreciating the people for each of their project and for each of their milestones, appreciation is a human need. So they will keep showing up. That's one way. And the second way is that you keep showing them the big target, that if they calculate their two pathways and certain things related to it, they will become a DTM, which is quite a prestigious thing, I would say, because becoming 1% of the whole Toastmasters community is a great achievement. It will give a self-esteem boost. It is going to give them recognition and other privileges which it's get. That's
All right, one last quick question since we are on that. One sentence you can use to motivate people to give speeches, especially for the big members. Just one sentence.
keep showing up and keep improving yourself.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. That was Toastmaster Wase Ahmed, Pathway, the ambassador for Karachi Toastmasters Club, and by extension, Pathway ambassador of any club, for any club that he attends. So, thank you so much, Toastmaster Wase Ahmed. I now hand over the floor to the lead evaluator, DTM Saif Ali Sheikh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and in particular Toastmaster Wase. What a confidence you have. It is, I know, to address the question, it is difficult, but each and every question you attempt with the confidence. And the important thing is that today, that you arrange your camera perfectly. And one thing is eye contact. Whenever you are making eye contact with the camera, it means you are making the contact with all the audience, and you was perfectly, your setup is perfectly all right. By having said this one, let me go to the other part of the speech. Other part of the speech is that I wish that you can share your project purpose to the evaluator, so evaluator is in better positions to know what to evaluate and what not to be evaluated. So my evaluation is a general evaluation for you today. One thing more, whenever you have the question answer session or interview sessions, so there must be a coordination between the person who is conducting an interview and between you and that particular person. So somehow in between, I realized there was not a perfect coordination. Some links are missing in between. So whenever you are doing the next project similar to this one, so make sure that you have a proper coordination with the person who is conducting the interview. The second, why you are nervous in between somewhere and clasping your hand? You are a confident person. So there's no need to clasping the hand, just move. And another thing is that whenever you are attempting the question, if I'm in your place, I will rephrase the question to make sure this is my understanding of the question. Then I will give the answer to that one. So it will give the idea to the person who is raised the question and the audience, make sure this is what we are going to learn. Another, the most important thing, that one link was missing. The stage was not set for the speaker. For the speaker, for such certain type of the project, it's mean you have to get audience engagement in such a way that we are calling authority of that particular subject today, and someone from us is asking the question. So it's a better opportunity for all of us to learn from this is authority of that particular subject. By having said this one, I will request our visual one, DTM GK Ajay, please go ahead.
Thank you, DTM Saif. Good morning, speaker, Wasi Ahmed. So here are my visual observations. The background is pleasant, that's very good. Your hand movements and gesture is good. You are sometimes nodding head, which means it indicates that you are listening to DTM Talha's questions and you are trying to understand them. And you are within the frame of the camera. So these are the positive things, but there are a few recommendations which I wanted to bring to your notice. Smile is missing on your face. If you could smile, not laugh, smile, confidence plus a smile will make you a good speaker. So if you could smile sometimes when Talha is asking question, it will be good. So these are my observations. Back to you, lead evaluator, DTM Saif.
Thank you very much, DTM GK Ajay. And now I will request Toastmaster Zara to take care of auditory part.
All right, so thank you very much. Toastmaster Vasan, when you talk about modalities of language, reading, listening, speaking, writing, if I see your speech when being being in an interview, I would say I would keeping that into consideration, I would see the other parts. It's so innate, although I'm focused on the auditory part of your interview, or I would say speech, keeping in mind being an interview, you could have adopted a sitting position. This is what my perspective is, because I've also done this project a while ago. So it wasn't a speech, right? It was an interview. So I could see excessive use of hand movements. So it might have affected the smooth flow of your interview. What you were speaking make perfect sense, and you were speaking with wisdom. Although you tried to incorporate the calm and composed posture, you answered all the questions wonderfully. And all, so it goes, I would say it goes hand in hand. So I thought to just highlight those two things, right? Excessive use of hand gesture, and if you could have adopted the sitting position. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Zara. Let me ask DTM sir to take care of perceptible part of the evaluation. Toastmaster Vase, it's well received the message, what you have answered in terms of the question, and what I understand that it is a technique to speak off the cuff. When there is a question, it's mean you are not prepared, but you excellently attempted the question. It's mean you are knowledgeable, you are confident, and you are authority of the subject. This is what I believe in, and I'm sure the audience have the same feeling what I have it. Over to the structure part, DTM Talha bin Ahmed.
Thank you so much, DTM sir. So for structure, obviously, as DTM sir specified, this is a project partially about extempore speaking. So it cannot have the structure of a speech. That said, I believe that as DTM sir pointed out, if there would have been a coordination regarding the topic and the question and answers between the interviewer and the speaker, it would have been a little better structure. But that said, I believe that overall, Toastmaster Vase answered the questions very well, and succinctly, that helped the interviewer ask more questions. So that is one thing that went well. Overall job well done. Over to you, Mr. Neerival.
Thank you very much, DTM Talha. And now here from our speaker today, Toastmaster Vase. Your feedback, please.
Thank you, DTM Sef, and thank you to all the evaluators. Your evaluation is of great value to me. Coming to DTM Sef, one thing that I noted from your points was rephrase the questions. Again, that's a good technique. Again, it can help me to even gain time to think about answers, and also to phrase answer in a way that my understanding gets much clearer so I can give a better answer. That's one thing. Yes, I was caught off guard. I was just thinking that there would be a keynote, so I was not exactly set up for that. I was caught off guard. So one thing you can say that, and I had just downloaded my evaluation resource. I was just doing. I was like, okay, there will be a keynote and I'll be able to send it because I just woke up late and it was just. So that's for DTM Sam. DTM Ajay, smile is missing. You are right, DTM Ajay, because I was not a bit relaxed. Usually that's not typical for my interview. In my interview, that how relaxed I am, it's a disaster. You can always ask DTM Tala about that. Smile is missing because I was caught off guard. DTM Zara said that I used hands excessively, and if I could have been in a sitting position, that things could have been better. Toastmaster Zara, you are correct again, but unfortunately, I did not have the position for sitting. I couldn't frame my camera to help me that I can be sitting and give an interview. So everybody, thanks for your evaluation. That's from my side.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vase. What a wonderful speech you have done today, and we learn a lot from you. By having said this one before, I'm going to hand over control back to the TMOD. I just want to say one thing about टोस्टमास्टर इरफान फारूकी. अपना चेहरा तो दिखाएं भाई. अब तो आपने नाश्ता भी कर लिया, एक दफा दिखाया अपना पुरनूर चेहरा, और फिर आप जो है yeah, this is what you are taking the breakfast now. So just share with us. Okay, by having said this, hand over control back to our TMOD.
Thank you, Mr. Lead Evaluator, and also Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi for sharing your breakfast with us. Moving on the education session, our next speaker, what can I say about him? The phrase of, the round peg into a square hole or the square peg into the round hole all fails in front of him. He is a non-Newtonian liquid. He go off against all those odds. He can fit everywhere. He can fit into every role. He is our not immediately past, but district director of District 122. He is the founder of this very club, a driving force behind this Quantum Leap Club in which we are sitting. Toastmaster Tala bin Hamid. To evaluate his speech, we have a lead evaluator who himself is DTM, a very active Toastmaster, not in his region, but in a greater region around the globe. DTM GK Ajay. Over to you, DTM.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kuram Chisti. DTM Talha is delivering a speech today, and the purpose statement is as follows. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer or other organization. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience as a leader and or the impact of the 360-degree evaluation. I have a team to take care of various aspects of the speech. So for visuals, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmad, auditory, Toastmaster Kuram Sayed, perceptible, Toastmaster Jhara Ibrahim, and structural DTM Iram Rizvi. I don't have the speech title, sir. So yeah, it's over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Kuram Chisti.
Thank you, lead evaluator. DTM Tala bin Hamid, the has been DTM Tala bin Hamid.
Thank you so much. Before I start, can I request someone to time this for 8 to 10 minutes? Maybe
Yes, sir, I can.
All right.
How many minutes?
8 to 10. 8 to 10.
All right. 8 green, 9 yellow, and 10
Yeah.
red, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, letting go might be the most difficult job on this planet. When you have a position, and then one day comes when you have to relinquish that position. I believe one of the most underappreciated and under-celebrated aspects of Toastmasters is that it teaches you to let go. Every position has its term, except for maybe the CEO of Toastmasters. He's been there for ages. Other than that, even the international president, all the international directors, region advisors, down to the region leadership, the district leadership, the club leadership, every role is finite. And that is the beauty of every role. Because when you realize that you have 1 year to make your mark, and not only that, but you also have to ensure that you have adequate succession in place, whatever role you're doing. That increases your responsibility, that increases your motivation, and that ensures that the way is continued to be made for new people. Last year, 2022-23, was something of an anomaly for me because I served as immediate past district director. Now, in the orders of importance in that designation, I believe the most important word is past that we need to remember. The second most important word is immediate. And the third and fourth are district director. Why is that? Because after having served as CDD, PQD, and then district director for 3 consecutive years, the biggest challenge is to step back and let go. And those who know me personally know me that is one of my biggest sources of stress. I simply cannot do that. I simply cannot let go. I have to be involved. I have to be hands-on. And that is why when I tenure as immediate past district director started, I realized one thing. Again, another beauty of the Toastmaster structure. It doesn't let any past leaders sit idle. It gives them responsibilities and importance so that they don't have to completely let go, but they can feel valued and important all the same. They continue to have ikigai even after their tenures are over. And that is how my tenure started. Because I was immediately made the TLI chair by the then program quality director and current district director, DTM Atif Irfan Sheikh. And that was like a gold mine for me, because to tell you the truth, and DTM staff has a major objection to that, but I enjoy the role of VPE the most. And the PQD is kind of the VPE of the district. And if you're in charge of the Toastmasters Leadership Institute, you become in charge of the trainings and training programs. So that was an absolutely fantastic break for me. I got to be hands-on, I got to lead a team, and I constituted a team of 5 or 6 people that helped me throughout the year. Under the TLI banner, we delivered a lot of programs, a lot of trainings, and we also contributed towards a lot of other initiatives taken by the district. So I'll be showing some of those initiatives here. I hope everyone can see my presentation. So it all started with the club officers training, round 1 and round 2, which we all arranged, and you can see some of the big names that were involved. We also arranged refreshers. We introduced club quality tools, which is the meeting quality index, speech quality index, Grand Slam award. And admittedly, we tried to launch them several times, but we could not quite get them to take off. And that is also a lesson that we should try all the things. It's not necessary that we succeed in all of the initiatives that we start. But there is one good outcome of this, and that good outcome is that the current gamification mechanism that has been introduced by PQD-ZAP, that has a lot of the same elements as the meeting quality index, speech quality index, and Grand Slam award. So if you are an active member within the club, if you are doing speeches, doing goals, contributing to the club, to the other clubs, to area, to division and district, you continue to get points. And that is how it is ensured that you remain an active Toastmaster. And that is well beyond your Pathways base camp, because Pathways only expects you to deliver projects. It does not give you credit for meeting roles, for helping out other clubs, for mentoring other members. So the gamification project does take care of that. So we were part of launching other clubs as well. We also introduced DTM Fast Track. That was actually originally started from Karachi Toastmasters Club about 2 years ago. And then this idea was taken on by the program quality director at that point in time, DTM Atif Irfan, and it was launched as a district-wide initiative. And the idea behind this is that if anyone wants to make it all the way to DTM, yes, they can do pathway projects, but they'll also need district's help. They need to sponsor a club, mentor a club, and have a club officer role. So the idea was to help the prospective DTMs achieve all these goals. But that was just one part of being the TNI chair. As is the custom, the immediate past district director is also appointed the head of the district leadership committee. So it was done with myself as well. I found myself appointed as the head of the DLC, and we started the invitation of expressions of interest and everything. We had as many as 19 applications for the district leadership positions, and that cycle went on very smoothly thanks to the exceptional members of the district leadership committee team that we had. I'm profoundly grateful to them to this day. And they performed a phenomenal job. We were able to issue a report on time and help in conducting the elections on time. But there was one more very interesting thing that had never happened in the history of our district before. And I bet that many of us remember that. And what is that? I'll show you another presentation. A very familiar face, because that is actually when DTM Matt Kinsey, the international president, announced that he would be coming to Pakistan. And we had to model our PAK-TAC district annual conference around that. Believe it or not, there was a core team of 5 or 6 people involving the PQD, Atif Irfan, myself, Toastmaster Imran Brother, the 3 conference chairs, and 1 more person. And that did everything from designing the logo to doing the social media publicity to devising the mechanism for registration, and in the end, ensuring that 3 spectacular events took place in 3 different cities of Pakistan, with the international president attending and delivering keynotes and all of that. But what is a matter of pride for me personally is that we managed to showcase our own Toastmasters in those annual contests. The worldwide trend is that people often rely on external speakers to add flavor and pizzazz to the annual conference. But I thought that we have our own district champions, so why not employ them? And you can see some familiar faces as well. We also, in all three cities, invited eminent speakers from philanthropic organizations. We also invited our foreign members as keynote speakers. And I believe that was a spectacular success in all three cities. We had amazing attendance. We managed to break even in terms of profitability as well. And I believe that the Dream Dare Deliver ParkTech 2023 remains a high watermark in our district's history. All in all, if I had to summarize my year as immediate past district director, nobody let me remember that I was immediate past. I'm honored and privileged that the district leadership can be engaged in so many initiatives throughout the year. I felt, and I have remarked this to our regional advisor, that perhaps my year as immediate past district director was even busier than my year as district director, or at least it felt that way. And I believe that is a beautiful transition provided by Toastmasters. They never let go of past leaders. They always give them responsibility and feel them value. So in the end, you don't have to be a has-been. You can always serve, you can always lead, and you can always contribute. All you need to do is say yes. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Talha bin Hamid. Over to lead evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Kurum Chisti. DTM Talha, what a speech. Your speech is the most inspiration, and it reminds me about my own situation when I was about to end my term as the president, area director, and division director. At the time, I felt that I'm at the end of the world and nothing is there for me. But as I progress in Toastmasters, I came to know that the term comes back to you. You can be the president again, you can be the area director again, you can be a division director again. Your speech is very well connected to my heart, and your speech will be a guidance for the future leaders who are there in this meeting room. And absolutely, it's a guidance for me as well. You spoke about how to consider your role as a leader in Toastmasters. One thing reminds me, one quote reminds me here: nothing is permanent in this world, even the Toastmasters role. So we have to change, keep on changing every year. So your presentation added more value to your speech, and it indicates what you have done as a district director to the district, entire district. And one more thing, the slides are good, and at the end of the presentation, you showed how proud and how satisfied you are about your work as a district director and how you contributed to the district. So the speech and the presentations are really good, and I am very proud, in fact, to say that I am a mentee of you. So this is all about my evaluation, and I would like to pass on the control to the visual evaluator, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed. Wasi Ahmed, the stage is yours.
Thank you, lead evaluator. Great presentation by DTM Talha today. DTM Talha, coming to your slides, they were effective. They didn't have many words, so that's one thing of a good slide is that it has small words, so it catches people's attention. Graphics were really good about slides. Coming to you yourself personally, I think you had blurred your background, so it showed your solid presence. That was again good. But one thing which I like to point out is that your camera wasn't positioned perfectly. So when you were even coordinating your hand, it was only showing your thumb. And when you were even moving your hand gestures, your hands were not perfectly seen. So that's just one area of improvement for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Wasi Ahmed. Now let's move on to the auditory evaluation. So we have Toastmaster Kuram Syed for the evaluation. Kuram Syed, all is yours. The stage is yours.
Thank you, lead evaluator. What a speech, DTM Talha bin Hamid. It seems like, an experienced guy is sitting on a chair and sharing his life story in a very calm and nice way. But I would say that while you are speaking your natural tone, you go in one tone which looks very natural, which is very nice. If you add a bit more dramatic modulation into that, it will add spice to your speech, little bit become more engaging. If you can, when you are very happy, it adds some excitement. When you are sad, you add a bit more grim sound, and that will add a more attachment to the audience, and that would be even on the top of the level where you have already delivered. Over to you, lead evaluator.
Thank you, Kuram Chisti. My apologies. I mentioned you as Kuram Syed as per the agenda. My apologies.
No,
Kuram
my full
Chisti.
name is Khurram Saeed
Khurram Syed
Chishti, so
Chishti.
you are right
Okay.
anyway.
Okay. Thank you. So now let's move on to the perceptible evaluator, Toastmaster Zara Ibrahim. Zara Ibrahim, stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Sir, the words elicited during your speech carried meaning. We could relate not just with what you said, but the emotions, the feelings, right? It made us realize like your hard work pays off, planning, execution, everything, because we witnessed the entire program, the milestones, right? And making a difference, bridging gaps and creating milestones, which speaks volumes. So the way it was, how you demonstrated, the entire slides or the words itself. So it was amazing. And how about if you could have added a quotation or something, you could involve or incorporate the audience, ask them a question, and gathering their response could have make it more, engaging, right? So although it was a wonderful presentation, a wonderful speech itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zara Ibrahim. Now let's move on to the structural evaluator. For this, we have DTM Irim Rizvi. Irim Rizvi, the stage is yours.
I think she was right here. I think she got disconnected.
Okay, so shall we wait for her, or?
I think we should wait for a minute or two.
Yep.
I suggest if lead evaluator can take the structural part and we can move on with the agenda.
Okay.
She's here.
She's back.
She's here.
Okay. Madam DTM Irim Rizvi, may I request you to?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. I don't know what happened to technology that it just gave up on me when my turn was there and I just opened up my mouth. So thank you so much, lead evaluator. Dear DTM Talha bin Hamid, wonderful structure. I like the way that we did not see where it was going. I like the way we did not guess where it would go. So you started off by sharing your stories, your personal position, what happens, what is immediate past present. And I love the structure that you brought up the flyers seamlessly. So I didn't even feel that you were about to bring something. I love your technology grasp that you have, and that's how you fill up your structure. You talk about it, you show a flyer, you put up that anticipation, and then we see what's happening. And in the end, of course, everything that you said had a proof around it. So thank you so much for structuring it in that way. I love how you started up. I love how you ended with message, and everything was connected well. The only feedback to you would be, please continue doing this. Thank you so much. Over to lead evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Iram Rizvi. With this, I would like to thank my team, Wasi Ahmed, Kuram Syed, Jara Ibrahim, and DTM Iram Rizvi for your wonderful evaluation. So let's move on to the speaker. So how you feel about the evaluation? Any feedback?
Thank you so much. All I have is gratitude because all of the points are superb. This is a kind of a tough presentation. I initially wanted to stand up. And give it, and that would have helped with the vocal variety and expressions because it always does. When you stand up and deliver, it always amplifies your expressions. But at the same time, I had to operate the slideshow as well. So could have improvised a little bit. So thank you so much, everyone. And not only thank you for your feedback, but thank you for the love and care and cooperation that I received during my tenure as IPDB, which will forever remain with me. Over to you, Neeli Balwin.
Thank you, DTM Talha bin Ahmed. So with this, I would like to conclude my evaluation and hand over the control to Toastmaster of the Day, Kuram Chisti.
Thank you, Mr. Lead Evaluator. If I may ask the audience, at least the one who were there since beginning of the meeting, there was a part in our brain that triggers when we are in stress. Anybody can name it.
Amygdala, emotions, and yeah.
Okay, so before amygdala, there is another part which is hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I should have said, other than Toastmaster Zara Ibrahim, who is already the master in this field. So, but thanks, Toastmaster Zahra. So, dear audience, as we said that when we are in a stress, there is a part of the brain that triggers and it initiate one of the another part in the brain, which is amygdala, which just Toastmaster Zara Ibrahim talked about. That part is also being regulated by another part of the brain, which is hippocampus. Take that information right now with you till next part I begin in, because now we are moving on to another geek part of the geeky Quantum Leap Toastmasters, is the Geek of the Week, which is led by none other than Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. We are too busy in our so-called busy lives that we don't get time to read books. In order to solve that problem, I have a book for you, which is called Daily Laws by Robert Greene. What this book is actually is that it gives a law or a piece of wisdom from Robert Greene's almost every written book, which is the 50th law or the 48 laws of power, mastery, or he has written a number of books. So what he does is he takes a piece of wisdom for each single day, which is only equal to a page of book, so you can read it one page on one day. For example, today's law is about ascend the mountain. It says that our life is an uphill journey. We start at the base of the mountain, and what we have to do is continuously keep our focus on the top if we have to continue our uphill journey. We do have perceptions before starting our journey or before making any steps that how difficult will our journey be. But again, that's only perception. The continuously we keep moving up the ladder, the more information keeps adding up to our current information, which help us to climb the mountain in a much better manner. Again, as the life is an uphill journey, which means that it is going to be difficult. At times, we will have to stop, catch our breath. At times, sometimes a stone might get down from the top, so we might have to roll back down ourselves. But one thing is that we have to keep viewing the top of the mountain in order to keep moving. That's from today's law. Another law, if I could share, was supreme patience, uh, which means waiting for the right time, being patient enough
Hello.
to wait for the right time and then strike. As the famous phrase goes, that strike the iron when it's red hot. Again, there were two pieces of wisdom for two separate days, and we have 366 pieces of wisdom in this book. So please do read it. Daily Laws by Robert Greene. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
What a geeky way of improving yourself. Thank you, Toastmaster Wasai Ahmed. Fellow Toastmasters, as we just discussed that our fear center of our brain is amygdala, which is actually being controlled, or let's say regulated, by another part of the brain, which is hippocampus. Now, this always triggers along some glands in your kidney that whenever you in a fearful situation, stressful situation for a short period of time, you start feeling trembling because these areas are being triggered, and they trigger, so you go away from the fearful position and come into the calmful situation. But what happens if you are in a constant state of anxiety or stress? This will start damaging your regulator, which is hippocampus, which is also a learning part of our brain. It stops generating new cells. It starts shrinking the brain, and even it starts disintegrating our DNA in our brain. So it shows that it's natural to be in stress, but staying in a stress for a long period of time, we ended up in an unrepairable damage in our brain, which ends up sometime in Alzheimer or even severe medical conditions. Up till next session, let's continue to our another part, which is an amazing part in any education session of Toastmasters. This is the fun house of Toastmaster, our table topic sessions. And today, the table topics is being led by none other than Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Khurram. So today's meeting was all about stress and fighting stress, and what better demonstration than to have your keynote speaker not turn up and trying to adjust the agenda around it. So anyhow, there should be a permanent self-care and mental care facility for all the VP educations. I have a strong recommendation for Toastmasters, which have special facilities and discounted deals with the psychiatrists especially. So without further ado, and in the spirit of making lemonades out of lemon, we will extend our table topics today to, I believe, 5 or 6 speakers rather than the customary 3. And we will start with my dear friend, Toastmaster Asghar. So today's table topics will be all about stressful situations and fighting stressful situations. So Toastmaster Asghar, my question to you is, Who is the biggest source of stress in your life? And how do you counter that stress?
To begin from to respond, the first part of your question is my mother-in-law. How I'm dealing with it is I would like to refer the author mentioned by our friend T.M. Wase Ahmed, Robert Greene. Robert Greene wrote a book recently, not recently, a decade ago, called 48 Laws of Power. Number 32 says that if you want to remove your stress, put other in the stress so that you can drive your satisfaction from that interest, and you can indirectly improve or reduce your interest. And that is exactly what I usually do when I confront with my mother-in-law. I listed some of her weaknesses, some 10, and whenever there is a topic of conversation and whenever she tried to dominate me, I had a list, memorized the list, and I used the list according to the situation and counter-attack her. Believe me, after reading Robert Greene, every time I'm able to defeat her, every time. More recently, she stopped fighting with me. Now she fights through my children. Whenever she wants to torture me, to do it through my children. For example, I don't want my children to go away for a picnic in faraway area. She always provoke them to tell your father to have a picnic outside the house. Unfortunately, Robert Greene forgot to mention this. Whenever someone attacked you, then what will be the backup strategy? I'm waiting for his next book. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar, for not disappointing me personally at all, and thoroughly entertaining and delivering valuable life advice to our audience. So anybody who's not married, here's your heads up. Next, we have our guest, future Toastmaster Zubair Ashraf. Mr. Zubair, are you ready?
Yes. So what stresses me is
actually. So I need to assign the topic. Like topic is different for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Mr. Zubair, what was the biggest source of stress in your childhood, and how did you cope with it?
All right. Biggest source of stress. For me, I was not very good at studies, so there would always be, a challenge through my parents, especially my father, for example, to be better at it. Because being the youngest one, I had two brothers. One of them, especially, was very good at studies, so he would always set a higher benchmark for me to follow. But I was not into studies at all. So for me, as far as I can remember, that was the most stressful time for me to keep up with the expectations of the family. So for me, life was just playing cricket. So I would just come back from school, throw my bag, pick up my bat, and then go out and start playing or start gathering the other children in the building to start play. So, I think how I overcome that stress, it took time, but again, my family, my father, my brothers, they actually helped me in getting better at my studies eventually. And so basically, as a child, it's very difficult to understand, what is stress actually like and how to cope it. So for me, that was my experience. Yeah, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zubair Ashraf, for that valuable insight. And yes, I believe that your source of stress is shared by most children, if not all. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Usama Ali. Toastmaster Usama.
Yes.
What is, yes. So what is the word of the day, by the way, is ikigai. And ikigai means, okay, I had it somewhere. Ikigai means value and importance. I'm correct. Yes, your life purpose. So, Toastmaster Usama, my question to you is, what is your one personal trait that is the most stressful for you? And how do you cope with it?
Can you kindly repeat the question?
Yeah. What is your one personal trait or quality that causes you stress, and how do you cope with it?
Still, I am unable to understand the question because your voice is
Your-
distorting to me.
Your one personal trait or quality that is a source of stress for you. You got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I got it. Yes, I got it. Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, for giving a good question. That what is my personal trait that is a source of stress for me. Well, if I would brief that thing to you, it would be that when my loved ones are not feeling good about something, or when there is some sort of problem in their life. As I believe I have a personality that when one of my loved one, like my brother, sister, or my father or mother, is not going any good in their life, I feel that I don't feel good as well. So I am that kind of person that gets stressed or tensed on that thing, and I make my possible best that they can feel good or they would be happy in their lives, because then I would be feeling happy. So I make sure my possible best that what good I can do for them, that would be good for me as well. So that's it from my side.
All right. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Usama Ali. So in a way, you get too worried about your friends and loved ones, and I believe that's something good to have, because after all, they are the people close to you. Next, I'd like to invite on stage our founding president, DTM Sir. DTM Sir, sir, are you there? DTM Sir, sir, are you there? All right, we'll come back to you. We go to Toastmaster Shahid Rizwan.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So would you like to share with us, Toastmaster Shahid, the one thing that is effective at relieving stress for you? The effective stress reliever for you. What you do to relieve your stress.
Okay, thank you very much, Table Topic Master. Basically, the thing which relieve me from stress is the best thing which I like to do when I start doing that. For example, when I am in stress, I just take my car out of the garage and go on a drive. And that really relieve me from the stress, whatever stress is in my mind. I just start looking into the nature. I just start looking into the people maneuvering, and that really relaxes me. So this is how I actually do it normally, and this is what is the best way I get it through normally. Over to you.
All right, thank you. So this reminds me of Southwest famous quote, "There is other people," which is the mantra for introverts like me. I can fully relate, because going away from people gives me considerable relief as well, as much as I pain to admit it. DTM Irfan Farooq. Sir.
I was very happy that you said there are 5 speeches, and I said, okay, 5 are complete.
No, I think we're still some way to go. So,
right.
Yeah. So, DTM Irfan, my question to you is that being professionals, the biggest source of stress is our bosses. Whereas we think of ourselves, for our subordinates, we think of ourselves as the best possible boss there is. What do you think about that? Is there a disconnect somewhere, or is it a function of positions?
Having been in a corporate sector for quite long period of time now, and having worked with various types of bosses throughout my life, I've come across with many people who are always desirous of transferring their personal stress to their employees. Whenever they have a target, most of the people feel that it is better that we keep the subordinates in a stress so that the results are what we want. Sometimes there are people who have their own personal issues in their lives, and they come to the office with those, and then they transfer that stress to their subordinates. I think my ikigai is to live in peace and harmony. I don't know how long is a life. I don't know whatever you do in your corporate sector, will it result in whatever is the desire? But having learned this thing from my seniors, I have adopted a different type of culture within my own subordinates. In this whole period of life, I had different type of subordinates. And those who were quite young when they joined my organization, my team, my area of work, they have understood how to work with me. But whenever I have received people who are seasoned, who have groomed their habits, it becomes very difficult for them to understand how to work with me. Because they always try to be the same type of subordinates who work with the stress givers, bosses. Intentionally, I have tried to not to be a stress giver, but then sometimes I settle for the low-level results as well. Settle what you want, but please don't pass on your stresses to your subordinates. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
All right. Thank you so much, DTM Irfan Farooqi. Very insightful. Next, we have Ms. Toastmaster Ubaid Bilgrami. Toastmaster Ubaid. Please unmute yourself.
Sir, is my voice clear now?
Yes, yes, exactly. Your question is, would you rather take stress or give stress?
Okay. The question is, would you rather take stress or give stress? Obviously, stress is something that is not beneficial for the health. Neither you should take it, nor you should give it to somebody. But at times that in life, stress is one of the positive factor of our lives, because we love to live in comfort zones. We hardly get out of our comfort zones and get ourselves tuned to making the progress. So sometimes stress is very positive for you. For example, if you don't have exams, would you think that kids would study? Kids would focus on studies? No. Just because of the stress of the exam, kids get to focus on studies. For example, in your corporate life, you want to get progress, you want to get promoted. How can you get promoted if you don't get stress of it? Unless you get stress of the promotion and increment, you won't be making your best. So I think considering the positive side of the stress, we must take a stress and we must give a stress. For example, I'm the leader of a team. I usually sometimes deliberately give stress to my team members just to sharpen their skills of critical thinking and problem solutions. Because if I put them in comfort zone, they wouldn't struggle at all. They would simply look for the easier ways. But when I give them tough time, when I give them stress of deadlines, stress of the optimum results, they bring out best results beyond my expectations sometimes. So stress is negative, but to some extent, stress is very positive. And to the positive side, we must take it and we must give it to our team members. Thank you very much. Over to you, DTM Tal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Very insightful. I agree that stress can be positive. And I believe one of the elements of positive stress is that if you remain humane and respectful while giving that stress, I believe you can extract any performance from your team as long as they realize that you're doing this to push them in a positive way to discover their own strength and potential. So our next speaker would be DTM Sam. DTM Sam, sir, are you there? Okay, DTM Sam, sir, are you there? All right, we'll move to our last speaker for the day. Our last speaker would be.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, our last speaker of the day would be DTM Ira Brisby. DTM, are you there?
I was actually looking around thinking who is left.
All right. So, DTM Ira, your topic is Toastmasters is another name for constant stress. Discuss.
Repeat.
Toastmasters is another name for constant stress. Discuss.
Toastmasters is another name for constant stress. And I would say yes, I agree with it and I put all my heart towards it. Why? Because when I'm in a Toastmasters meeting, I throw out all of my 4 children and I give it to others. The stress is others. And when I'm about to do a keynote or if I'm about to take a major deal in a Toastmasters Club meeting, I would take my nice 2-3 days, pick up my laptop and create a whole stressful environment for others that, listen, many people are going to watch me, learn from me, follow me, so stay out of this room. The stress is out of the room. And whenever in Toastmasters I win something, I would come out of that room and say, see, this world recognizes me as someone whom they listen to, but you don't. And I give them a stress that they keep thinking that what is it that we don't see and others see? So the stress is out of the room. And whenever I have a chance to visit a Toastmasters club, I take my time getting ready at least an hour before. I reach over there, I do networking, and then I take another hour to network in the end. I come back home, I throw my purse and I say, oof, it was so stressful between so many people, don't bug me. The stress is out of the room. So all in all, yes, Toastmasters is full of stress, not for me, but the people around me who give me stress whenever there is no Toastmasters. So Toastmasters give me a reason to pay back. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, DTM Ira. This reminds me of a tactic that I learned in my decades, it seems like centuries of married life. And that is that whenever you go out, never let your spouse know that you had the time of your life. Always act miserable and tired, and they will forgive you. So, whenever I come back from, like, they're not that often, every 15 days or so when I'm out with friends, dining, or some other event, or even a Toastmasters meeting, I always say to Anand that, oh, I'm so tired. Okay, somebody did this, it ruined the whole thing, and I hate that person. Guess what? Instant sympathy, and they forget that I'm walking in at 12 midnight. So yeah, a valuable tip. Thank you so much for seconding me, DTM. It seems we've stumbled upon one of life's great hacks. So with that, our table topic session comes to an end. And I'll be floating the poll for some reason, another source of stress. The Zoom poll has broken down. It is refusing to float any polls, refusing to give any results. So I'm using Google Sheets and posting the link for best table topics in the chat box. Please cast your vote, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. What a table topic session. Very nice learnings, how to stress others, how to stress your in-laws, and how to have fun around with all the stress. I can see very stressful people in this meeting. With this stressful thought, what we have learned so far today, we have learned that our brain have different areas which triggers when we are in a stress. There is by nature put Allah, the God you follow, has put a regulator to control that stress. And when we are in a constant state of stress, that start getting damaged. So, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, give a thought. Have you ever evaluated in your life taking a pause? Taking a pause is a very important thing, not only in speech, in life as well. Take a knee, step back, take a pause and think, what is important for you in your life? What are your key priorities? What you are good at? What you love to do? And with all that thought, when you come in this world, what you bring with you? And when you will leave, what you will take along? With all that thoughts, have you ever thought that taking unusual stress, taking a stress on the things which you cannot control, is it worth it? With that thought of evaluating your own life, I will move on to an evaluation session of this very meeting, which is led by our general evaluator, none other than DTM Iram Rizvi. DTM Iram Rizvi, over to you for the journal evaluation of this meeting.
Thank you very much. Timer, please note 5 to 7 minutes at max. So welcome everybody to the evaluation sessions, something that we strive for, because feedback is the breakfast for champions. And we all learn from what we're doing. And the best thing about a Toastmasters Club meeting is that we come with a feeling, with an acceptance to learn, unlearn, relearn, and implement again. So let's start with the general evaluation. And before that, there is a disclaimer that whatever I'm going to share with you today is my personal opinion, is something that I have learned throughout the time. And I feel that these things were nice and that could be better. And you're most welcome to pick up what you like, what you don't, or what you feel that you will get it through the time, if not immediately. So always take up general evaluations and evaluations in these way, and you will see how beautifully you will be implying it and with a very positive thought. The meeting started few minutes late, but then I always say that it's very tough, even in physical meetings, to start on time. So let alone online meetings where, especially on a weekend, on a Saturday, when we all were thinking that alarm would be set at 9:45, we snooze it, and then we are getting up at 9:55 after 10 minutes and running around. So it's absolutely fine to have a 10 minutes bracket. The only thing I would advise is that the role players, the major role players, should be there on the dot. So when we say that the Sergeant at Arms is starting at 10, so let the main role players be there, because the Sergeant at Arms cannot start unless and until they see the general evaluator, TMOD, and table topics master, or the keynote player. Around this, I would advise something to the club, and that is for anybody who takes up that role, is that whenever there is a change in agenda, the Toastmasters of the evening should know first that there is a change, somebody's not coming. And if there is a segment shift, that we didn't have a keynote speaker and then we had the speeches first, before making the shift, we should get in touch with the person whom we are bringing up first. That, are you ready? We are going to call you in first now. Because that whole thing that happens on the camera, that I wasn't ready and these things, in Toastmasters we avoid. So in Toastmasters we avoid saying, sorry, I wasn't ready. In Toastmasters, we avoid saying that it was my first time. I didn't prepare. I just started my speech right now. The whole idea of the motto is preparation. So even if you're not prepared, even if it is something sudden, do it like a best show. a best show. So you don't have to explain to the people. The only reason you would explain is when you're caught off guard. So let's avoid that by just at least dropping a message that, you know, there is a change, you will be coming next. Are you comfortable? If not, we will have table topics first. So we'll keep moving. And by the time that is happening, of course, the TMOD is somebody who has to drag the show till the time all those conversations are happening in the background, so that the audience doesn't feel that there is some up and down of the agendas. So that's one tip that we could do in the background. Apart from this, my major role is, of course, very much around evaluating the evaluation team and the panels. Speeches were amazing. We all have heard about them. So my feedback to my evaluators, first would be to DTM Saif, wonderful way of evaluating as usual, and somebody who comes with such an extensive background usually has an eye to see what things could be improved. This is why when there are much senior Toastmasters with 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of experience, you will notice they don't run around the bush. But we have to run around the bush. It has to be a sandwich approach. We have to keep practicing that. So I love the fact that he was on dot. He picked up 5 points that could be improved. However, 5 points are a lot for a speaker to take. So as an evaluator, we have to keep on practicing again and again that let's stick to 2 good points, 1 recommendation, or 3 good points that you liked from the speech and 2 recommendations. And again, in the end, bring up the points. So if and this is for both the evaluators, if I'm going to say, oh, it was a wonderful speech, we really enjoyed, I really liked it. However, this was not okay. This is not sandwich. What was wonderful in that speech? What did you like in that speech? So there have to be points that what did you like? Those points should outweigh the recommendation. And this is how the speaker would usually take it very positively and implement, and speaker would have at least 1 or 2 points to take away. That, okay, let me in the next project try implementing my presence of stage. Let me try implementing not holding up my hands. Let me try implementing not showing that I'm nervous. Because we all are nervous. We all are nervous. We just find a way to play around that how it doesn't show, but we all are shivering, tange cupping and all that. It happens to everybody. So it's just that we learn how to go along. So this is my tip to my evaluators. Apart from that, all the panel evaluators have done a wonderful job. I really love the way how they went in the depth detail. And my feedback to the speakers, and we have seen one sample of Toastmaster DTM Talha doing that. So my dear first speaker, in this club, when you get evaluations from different panels and you're asked to give a feedback, the feedback is not to give the explanations of the evaluations that you have got. Let's avoid that. That is a feedback. The process is not called explain that what you have done. So no need to go through one and every one that, you know, auditory, I got this feedback, so this is what it means. Structure, I got this feedback, so this is why I did it. You just have to give your general feeling of how did you feel about the feedback, and pick up 1 or 2 things that you could, you know, probably say to us that in my next project, I'm going to start working on this. In my next project, I will not move without any purpose. I'll try to move when it is required. So this is for everyone, because in last couple of meetings, I've been noticing that the speakers are actually, they start explaining that why did they do that? Why did they get that feedback? That's not the idea. Let's not lose the essence of that feedback part. So just say how you felt about it and what you're going to do next. So this is my advice to the speakers. Thank you, DTM Talha, for portraying that. And that's a learning for all of us, because you reminded me how to do that again today. And we loved the session of table topics. Enjoyed it. My one feedback to the great captain of the ship who has been teaching us medical and philosophy and science today. Beautifully done. I like the way that the topic has been dragged and split in a way that we are sticking to it in every point. Please try to have introductions of at least the main segment holders, proper introductions. So their names, what do they do, probably how long they have been a Toastmaster, and then that's it. So in this way, the TMOD essence of having intros would come in and make us and will remind us that this is how the TMOD role, that the part of the introduction is very important for all of us. So that's one of the things that TMOD, out of many things that he does, that's one of the things that I felt today was missing, but I have to give a feedback, so I picked up one part. Thank you everyone for doing your roles brilliantly, especially all the role players too. And I'm passing it on back to the general evaluator. Sorry, I'm the general evaluator, so I have to pass it back to Khurram Jissi. Over to you.
The grammarian report.
Yeah, the
Yes, thank you so
language.
much.
Yeah,
I'm actually in the
grammarian
since last 16 hours I have attended. This is my third meeting. So 1 physical and 2 online, and major roles, all of them major roles. So I'm still in that essence. So can I please request the grammarian to share the report for today?
Yeah. So if I talk about the word of the day first, so the word of the day, which was ikigai, was used by DTM Tela not one, not twice, not thrice, multiple times. And and even DTM Irfan Faruqi said ikigai is peace and harmony. So I take one message there, and I'm sorry if I've missed anyone. I've used it, I think. DTM Khurram also used, yeah. DTM Khurram Chishti used the word of the day. And if I would say I might be the only one who has done mistakes, or might have or must done the mistakes, because you people were on the spot. Everyone used such nice vocabulary, I would say. I could not jot down not so good usage of grammar. I am not even joking right now. Like, it's something, the entire meeting was so nice. Everyone was so wonderful today that I couldn't see any, anything which I could write upon. But when I talk about, I always mention the good usage of grammar. But today, I couldn't jot down the sentences. My bad. So we'll definitely do it next time. But it was a wonderful meeting, I must say. So thank you very much. Over to our amazing general evaluator. Our scarves are matching, actually.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, over to you, ma'am. Yeah.
Master Zara. And who is our next role player? Do we have?
I think
The TMOD. No. We don't.
We don't have our counters. All right. So we already have the reports. The timer has been sharing with us who are qualified, not qualified. So I don't need to take a report from him.
Yeah.
And pass it back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, journal evaluator, and what a great journal evaluation. Thanks for all the feedbacks. I believe the feedback given to all the areas of the meeting, and you have taken those parts. Fellow Toastmasters, look into the last 1.5 hour, 2 hour of our journey. We learn about stress. We learn about what parts of our body triggers around those stress. And then we look into the part that how we should evaluate our lives. One of the way, which is the word of the day, is ikigai as well, to see what is important for me, what I need, what I'm best at, what I can get into my profession related to that, and that define the purpose of my life as an ikigai. On the other way, some experts says doing a good workout is a good way of releasing the stress. Some people say meditation. In other religions, the same meditation we say muraqabah. There are different ways to release the stress. One way is to spend a quality good time with your loved ones. Have you find your purpose? Have you find the way that suits to your life to release your stress? Because the first question you should ask, is it worth to have a stress versus the best part of your life? I leave that questions to all of you to think around this weekend. Look around your life, find your purpose, and think what suits best for you to release your stress. Because to me, stress doesn't worth it. Have fun in your life. With all that, I'll hand over the charge to the standing president, our VP Education, DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Khurram, for conducting a wonderful session. And what can I say? I'm so grateful because this is our 48th meeting. And in the past 47 meetings, we've never ever failed to have a keynote, a geeky keynote. But today was an exception. Our keynote speaker did not turn up. They were originally joining from the USA, so maybe they were traveling or they confused the time, although I was in coordination with them throughout. But anyhow, not for one moment did we feel the lack of a keynote. And that is a great credit to each and every one, especially the members and the guests. Today's meeting was so enriching, it was so joyous, it was so filled up with quality content that we didn't feel the lack of keynote, and that is amazing. So everyone, please vote for the best Big Four. It is in the poll box, and in the meantime, we'll take some comments from our guests. So our first comment will be from Mr. Zubair Ashraf. So please share your comments about the.
Yeah, thank you very much, Talha, and everyone. This is my first time here. And it was a wonderful experience. I had heard about what goes on in the Toastmaster, but this is the first time I'm seeing it. So a lot of learning, and I think this is a great platform for everyone who aspires to be better at public speaking or to be more confident generally, to practice and to bring in their best. So, I love the way the general evaluation was done. I love the way the whole structure is there to this, because it is very difficult for everyone to get together and for all these people to go in a very, meaningful way. And I think, again, very well conducted, and I loved it. So thank you very much for involving me and giving me the opportunity. And looking forward to joining the clubs, and it will be great. So thank you very much.
Great. We'd love to have you on board. And keep in mind that our meetings happen every other Saturday. It's the second and fourth Saturday of every month. So there are 5 Saturdays. Again, be part of the club, be part of the WhatsApp group, and you'll be updated. Toastmaster Ben Wilgrant, your comments, please.
Well, as anticipated, it was a great meeting, and I'm sorry for joining lately because I'm on my job. I wanted to join in from the beginning, but somehow I couldn't make it so. And luckily, I got the opportunity to be a part of Table Topics, which is basically a challenge for me. And that was the basic reason for joining Toastmasters Club. I'm a trainer. I give training. I'm somewhat little better at giving speeches, but table topic session or impromptu speaking. It's one of the weakest link of my my career chain. So I wanted to improve it, and that's why I joined this activity. And I came to know about this forum, and it was excellent. And particularly TM Modi, he gave such an excellent information that we have learned today. Stress is one of my favorite subjects. I've done some courses on stress management, like NLP Master Practitioner and mindfulness, as well as MBSR. There are lots of things that I've done, but recently I came to know from Khurram Chishti, Toastmaster Khurram Chishti, a lot of things. So this was an excellent meeting, and I would love to be a part of it. I've joined the mailing list, and sooner I'll be receiving some other meetings from your side, and I'll be happier to be a part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ben. It was an honor and privilege to have you, as it's true for every guest. So please feel free to be part of these meetings in the future as well. We have also Mr. Iftikhar Shahid, who joined a little bit late, but we'd love it if he could share some thoughts about the meeting. Mr. Iftikhar, are you there? All right. So now, taking advantage of the fact that I have the stage, as VP Education, our 50th meeting is coming up. So for the 49th meeting, we already have our keynote speaker lined up. But for the 50th meeting, it is open to all members. So any member who approaches me with the most interesting idea for the 50th meeting keynote gets the keynote. And it should be centered around the theme of the club because it is appropriate. It will not only be our 50th meeting, but also it will be our second anniversary meeting. So it should be centered around the themes of the club. Anybody who forwards me with the best idea gets the keynote. So who decides which one is the best idea? Easy answer, I do. but those who do not like those who are not selected for the 50th meeting, they'll be selected for the 51st and 52nd meeting. So you all have your chance at the stage. Before I move on, I'd love to have some comments from our dear friend, Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar. Toastmaster Asghar.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Tala. It is always a productive time to be with any Toastmaster club, including this one. It is good to see the domineering patriarch of all Toastmaster club we have in Pakistan called Hiram Rizvi once again over here after some time. And it's good to see some of friends whom I usually interact in these screens. And I don't want to take more time than this because Toastmaster, the time in Toastmaster Club is very precious and we need to use it, not only use it, but use it productively. Over to you, DTM Tala.
All right. Yes, DTM.
Today, I'm going to share a secret that no soul knows. Toastmaster Asghar is the one who came to Express Toastmasters Club when I saw him for the first time. And I saw him in KTC and was the first person I saw who can get away by making fun of his spouse and in-laws. He is my inspiration for all of my table topics. And I never knew that we can get away with it, but the beauty and the way he does it, he's my inspiration. And today I'm sharing this for the first time.
Wow.
Thank you, Toastmaster.
So yes, DTM, where would you be without your in-laws and spouse to make fun of? Because most of your contest winning speeches have centered around that theme. So I believe you should be sharing some of your trophies with Toastmaster as well. So now on to the results. And again, my pet peeve, if you won't take enough roles, if the member won't take enough roles, there are many members who are present today who should have taken roles. The same people will keep winning, which is fine by me, because the best speaker once again goes to me. So I'm not complaining, but it is for the members to contemplate that, why had that happened for the second consecutive time? Simply because not enough members are taking speaking slots and taking advantage of the fact that Pathways Ambassador is here. Let me remind everyone that speeches move the needle on the club dashboard. So if the members take up speech slots, then we will get to distinguish that faster and it will also advance your pathway journey. So I'm looking at each and every one of you, Toastmaster Zahra, DTM Mira, DTM Sam, DTM Ajay, Toastmaster Purab. Yeah, what a wealth of members we have today. Great. Next, we have a best evaluator, which goes to DTM Saif Ali Sheikh. Congratulations, sir. Best table topics goes by a very narrow margin to DTM Hiram Rizvi. So yeah, since Toastmaster Asghar is right at your heels in terms of the votes, you should be sharing this award with him because he is your inspiration. And finally, best pick 4 today goes to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Khurram Singh Chishti. So thank you so much, everyone, once again, for this amazing and memorable meeting. I imagine that many of the guests and members came after seeing the advertisement of the keynote, and ironically, the keynote speaker wasn't there. But I believe that we learned so much about stress management through our Toastmaster of the day, and also through the table topics that we heard. It was so beautiful. We don't even need any lesson in stress management now. So, and I am considerably unique because I know that next time a keynote speaker bails out, our members and guests will make up the difference. So, thank you so much, everyone. And I declare this meeting closed, but I would like our founding president, DT himself, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, DTM Tala. I was doing the multitasking today. There's a reason sometime I'm in the meeting with you, sometime meeting with the others. So that's the reason you might figure it out that I was not in the meeting and sometime I'm in the meeting. So this is multitasking on weekend. Fellow Toastmaster, we are going to have our second anniversary in the month of December. So I do request all of you to please actively participate and make this event a memorable event for Quantum Leap and the District 122. So you have the potential, you have the courage, and you have the charisma. Just display in our second anniversary. Over to DTM Tala.
Thank you so much, DTM Chap. And yes, we know the secret. You are multitasking through most of the meetings of Quantum Leap, but the beauty is that you never let us know. And I would take this opportunity to recite a verse by Parveen Shakir in your honor, which epitomizes your commitment to Quantum Leap and your status as our founding president. वो कहीं भी गया लौटा तो मेरे पास आया, बस यही बात है अच्छी मेरे हर जाएगी. So we're not calling you Harjai, but you get the drift. So we are thoroughly grateful for your patronage of Quantum Leap. You are one of the people that you, DT Abhirav, in fact, all the members present here, you guys are the people that have made the club what it is today. So thank you so much, everyone, and see you all next week. So,
thank you very
2
much.
weeks.
Have a nice day ahead of you and a happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.